This session, we're going to start getting into the cost database. As we get into the cost database, in some of the other videos to come, we're going to start setting up our labor items, equipment items, crews, things of that nature that we're going to be able to use in putting an estimate together and some of those type of tasks. To do that, there's a few things that kind of like some of the other topics we've already covered, where there's some things that you can set up ahead of time. You can still come back and change them after the fact or set them up after the fact, but there's some setup issues that we're going to start with in this section, where we're going to talk about how to create the different equipment types, equipment service types, and the locations that I can use for different equipment pricing or different labor pricing. With that being said, those are setup things. We're going to start off with the settings again. Under feature settings will be where we'll see our cost DB and equipment feature settings. And it looks a lot like, other places that we've been in prior recordings. Shows me some sort of, my equipment types or service types, or, in this case, locations and so forth. So the three things that we're going to primarily talk about, they've got different types that can be in here. So same thing we've seen in other places. I can hit edit and come back in and manipulate a description if I need to. I can hit add and add any type of description, and then hit add another entry and just kind of keep on adding them and so forth as I need to. And that's pretty much where, when we start setting things up, keeping consistent with what types of, what equipment types somebody could select and associate with an item when we set up a piece of equipment. Service types. Same concept. So we've got different service types out there for what the equipment is currently being, the status of it. So, it might be in repair mode or routine maintenance or things of that nature. So they're just basically different types of service that I can they're again, flag on a piece of equipment. So we'll be able to see that in a report or pull that out in a filter to see, what list falls under it. And locations and custom rates, equipment and labor rates will primarily be used for, there again, building estimates. I might say that, have a different rate associated with equipment or labor and so forth based on some area. And there again, the boxes are a lot like everything else that we've looked at with the edits and the ads and just a title. So these are pretty simple ones that they're just basically a standard one list, no drill downs like cost codes or some of the other things we've talked about. So pretty basic, but that's basically the main method to get the types and the service types and the equipment locations and labor locations set up.